Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. It is I, God Empress, Jesse Milestone, here to do a review for you of Crazy Rich Asians. Yes, a movie that has not come out yet because I'm cool like that. I live in a place where things like this happen, and I happen to be dating a man who is half Japanese and does a podcast about Asian stuff, and some people were like, hey, come watch our Asian movie and talk about it on your podcast. Pretty side effect, I'll talk about it right here. That's the Model Majority podcast, if you guys are interested in checking it out, and you're interested in things like looking at American stuff through a Asian and Pacific Islander lens. But more to the point, this review of this movie that hasn't come out yet. It will be a spoiler-free review, my friends, because that's just not fair. It's also really counterintuitive. Be like, I want people to watch this video, but I'm going to spoil a movie that they haven't even had a chance to see. That's dumb. Anyway, let's just touch on the title of this video right quick. This movie, not a diverse movie. There is no diversity in this movie. Pretty much everyone's Chinese. Except I guess the one family might be Singaporean, but I think they're Chinese too. Anyway, I can't remember if they actually speak Chinese movie or not. But that's anyway, this is not a diverse movie. It's about Chinese people. It's just about Chinese people and Chinese culture, which is why it's awesome, by the way, because they didn't sit down and go, how do we fill a diversity quota? Somebody went down and was like, here's this cool book that like really, really exemplifies the epitome of wealthy Asian culture, and let's make it into a fun movie because these characters are wacky, they're wild, they're outrageous, but this is also a touching story about family and love and heartwarmingness and stuff like that. So, you know, great idea. Let's tell a good story. Oh, by the way, it happens to be all about Asian people and full of Asians. Great. Still a good movie. It's not better because it's about non-white people. It's not worse because it's about non-white people. It is different, which is refreshing, let me tell you. What's nice about it, too, now, fun fact about Jesse, I was a bit of a Chinese scholar at one point. I took a few terms of Chinese in college, and it was a great way to have the course structure. I went to a small liberal arts college that did things like, we're not just going to teach you language, we're going to teach you about the culture while we teach you about the language. And Chinese culture was something I was already a little interested in to begin with, so I learned a whole bunch about the family structure, about traditional things, about other things. It was great. I also dated a half Chinese guy for a long-ass time who had a Chinese mother who was scary. So I learned more about their customs and stuff from him and about not being accepted by Chinese parents, especially specifically Chinese mothers. So like that, it resonated for me in those ways as well. If you're like, I don't really care about Chinese stuff, then you might not care that much about this movie. But what's neat about it is during this process of learning about Chinese things, I watched some Chinese movies, and this one reminded me in ways of, what's that movie called? It's like, Eat, Drink, Man, Woman is the translation for it. It's a really, really good movie. Great, like, this is microcosm about the Chinese family and relationships and things like that. It's not Stupid Rich Ones, though. So, but this reminded me of that tonally, structurally, and sort of like some of the, you know, what it covered, what it was about. It was a very, like, slice of life for a bunch of different people, while at the same time being like having a central story and a central arc and things like that. So it was really fun because it didn't just, it focused, I mean, very much on the main character and her struggle, and she was of course very relatable because she was like the normal person. You know, like, here's your normal person entering into this crazy bizarro culture that, even though she was a Chinese American, was just like so over her head. So it was cool because it was very relatable for all kinds of people, because you identified as a foreigner with her because she was treated like a foreigner in very, very many ways. But then you also were totally immersed in it because she still was not white. So that was fun, basically. It's a whole fun journey about it. I really appreciate it. I was listening, like, a lot of the songs were in Chinese. It was cool. I was translating some of it with the little bits I remembered. Fortunately, music lyrics, not the most advanced things ever, so I got some of that. The humor was off the rails. Like, just perfect beats and things that I will say, if you are Chinese or if you know a lot about Chinese culture, there are a lot of jokes that like really resonate because of that. But it was funny anyway. Like, even if those particular ones didn't hit you, there were just really poignant They're really, really hysterically funny moments. Other poignant moments, like moments that people in the theater like made them go, oh, or like gasp, you know. And that's happens a little more at a screening, like a pre-screening, private screening than other things, because people are just like generally more excited about what they're seeing. But in general, like having that whole big audience response like that, you know, the movie is pulling some feels out. I cried straight up. I had a couple different moments where I straight teared up. One because it was so sad, and one because it was so beautiful. So yeah, you laugh, you cry, you just have a great time. Like it's just such a, and again, it's so nice because it doesn't follow any existing tropes. I mean, it does in its own way follow like a basic story of a chick flick, you know, boy, girl, problems, resolutions. Does he get her? Does he not? Go see it and find out. So yeah, I mean, there's not too much room for surprise there, but what makes it so fun and so different is that you're getting to see things you don't normally see. I mean, like when you go to see a romantic movie, you kind of know what the plot's going to be. You kind of know what you're getting. You go to it for the fun, quirky characters, for the humor, for, you know, oh, let's go see a movie like Eat, Pray, Love because it takes place in lots of different places and you get to see cool stuff. And what's neat about this is this is not like an outside in, you know, like Wes Anderson making Isle of Dogs and like, oh, so I see Japanese people. That's right, I said Japanese. And Japanese! Keep them on. Don't get them wet. But no, it's a Chinese look at Chinese culture, being like, here, for you Americans, it's delicious. Or you English-speaking folk. Or very much so. I mean, also with what I appreciate about it, too, is very much so for you Chinese folk. There's like 1 billion of them. They are going to want a nice movie about this that's produced nicely, and it's good. It's just nice. Like, it's nice. I don't know what else to say about it. Like, it is definitely a feel-good film. It's beautifully produced. I mean, it's just gorgeous to look at. Great job on the music. Great job on the casting. I don't have at this point, and I know I just walked out of the theater, so I'm a little dreamy-eyed about it and whatnot. I don't really have a bad thing to say about it, though. I mean, yeah, it's not going to, like, deeply challenge your personal assertions, but it certainly does. It certainly does bring a culture that seems so foreign a little closer to home, while also enlightening and being exciting. And look, it's like a totally mainstream film that's just good and easy to watch. So now you can sound cultured by being like, oh, I know these things about Chinese people now. So there you go. It's just, you can put that one in your pocket. Sound smart at dinner. So that's why you have to go see it like right now when it comes out. So before other people see it, you can sound smart at dinner parties. And you can like take the facts from it that people don't know because everyone hasn't seen it yet and be like, did you know this? That Chinese people do this thing. And yeah, that's, so it has my endorsement 100% fully. Go check it out. I know that, like, a lot of you are like, I like movies like The Meg and Star Wars and Mission Impossible. Why would I go see this dumb romantic comedy? Because it's a good movie. And it's good for all of you. And like I said, you know, it'll make you sound more cultured when you talk to your friends. And that's the entire point of life, obviously, is impressing your friends and people you just met at parties. So there you go. Go see Crazy Rich Asians.